Hey guys, Christopher Green, you're watching AMTV, Alternative Media Television. Please, before we get started, like this video, share it. A lot of people have been telling us they're not getting our videos in their subscription feed, so make sure to click the bell so you get all of that. Today I want to go over a very peculiar story. Many of us felt for some time, you tuning in, and myself included, that they're planning for something big. So what are they planning for? And actions speak louder than words. A very, under the radar report we're starting to see leak out in the mainstream media, some of you may have caught today, is that very loud booms have been heard in downtown Los Angeles over the last 24 hours. And it turns out that they're running urbanized military drills with Black Hawk helicopters and other military personnel planning for what? What's interesting about it is if you look at the official report, they say that they're actually running these drills in downtown Los Angeles to practice for war-type and warlike scenarios overseas. Why do they need to do it in downtown LA? Now, of course, we've seen martial law declared most recently in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina. We also saw this with the tragic events of the Boston bombing, where military personnel opened fire on an unarmed man who was hiding in a boat without a firearm. And now this. And these are things that we're even experiencing here in Phoenix. In fact, this morning, a family member came up to me and said, "Christopher, do you hear that really loud vibration outside right now? Do you hear that loud noise? It kind of sounds like an airplane, but it's not an airplane and it's not going away." You know, when you typically have an airplane, you can hear it coming into the airspace overhead, and then you can see it and hear it move into the distance. Well, I stepped outside this morning, and instead of that, there's just this very loud vibrational event taking place that doesn't seem to go away. It almost sounds like something is hovering, and I'm not saying it's a UFO or anything like that, but it's what it feels and sounds like, this vibrational hovering over our skies. And I'd also be curious if any of you live in Phoenix, if you heard this today like we did, myself and several of my neighbors, please put in the comment section below. A series of loud booms that rocked downtown Los Angeles on Monday night startled some people who complained on social media. But Los Angeles police said there's no reason to be alarmed. The noises were part of a U.S. Army training exercise, we saw this with Jade Helm not too long ago as well, involving aircraft and weapons simulations in an urban setting, downtown LA. The training is set to run through Saturday in Los Angeles and Long Beach. So for the next several days, really the week. Residents may hear sounds associated with the training, the LAPD said in a news release. So there's conditioning to this. They're also practicing, and if they were declaring, let's say, real martial law on the heels of the State of the Union and divide in our country with left-right politics going on, etc., they would call it a drill, and then it would just become our reality. These are some critical thoughts that we should have. Residents may hear sounds associated with the training, the LAPD said in a news release. Each location selected enables special operations teams and flight crews to maintain maximum readiness and proficiency, validate equipment and exercise standard safety procedures. The training is essential to ensure service members are fully trained and prepared to defend our nation overseas. Why train in our own cities and towns? Then why not just train overseas? You can train in Afghanistan, you can train in Syria where there's an ongoing war, you could train in Yemen, you can train in innumerable countries around the globe. In fact, we see a civil war soon to be fought in Venezuela. That's something we've also talked about here a lot on AMTV. Police said residents near the training locations would be notified beforehand, but some on social media said they were caught off guard. Here's a tweet from Alyssa Walker. "I feel like they could have gotten the word out about this a little better," she said. Says the terrified mom frantically searching Twitter. And then there's another tweet. "Hey, at Mayor of LA, you want to do military exercises in downtown LA? Cool, man. Just warn us next time." You got a generation of post 9/11 folks frantically refreshing to find out if there's a need for us to book it out of town. And there's a few other tweets talking about these series of drills and events. And there's also a media advisory that you can read dated February 4th. U.S. Army conducts training in Los Angeles area. Members of the U.S. Army will conduct military training in the greater Los Angeles and Long Beach areas February 4th through the 9th, 2019. So here's the point again. In this video, I'll probably keep just short and sweet. What are they planning for? What are they training for? Why wasn't there ample warning given? And again, we've seen these series of events in the West with Jade Helm. More recently, I think just, what was it, within the last, 6 months or so, we did a story where they're actually preparing for some, I think it was 300,000, maybe more, it was like 400,000 evacuees, this was before the fires, from California to flood Arizona into a camp-like setting here in our home state where I live. So what are they planning for, and what do they know? And there's just this weird series of events. We're even seeing this with weather patterns right now in this cold front that is taking place on the East Coast. And just these strange things have been happening. And I go back to the Transformers in New York City with the blue light. Warning from our own federal government to prepare with at least 6 months food and water to be prepped for what? This comes at a time of major national divide. A State of the Union address where Nancy Pelosi is warning Americans to turn off the television and don't even watch it, where Donald Trump is on the verge of declaring a national emergency over a border wall and a national crisis which threatens America's safety and sovereignty. So what do they know that you don't? And why are they not just planning, but exercising and practicing these drills through your city streets, through your towns, and all across America? What comes next after the alleged drill? And again, we've seen this with other events. The drills turn out to be reality. I'd like to hear your thoughts, comments, questions in the box below. Please click the link below, share this video, like it, click the bell, make sure you get our subscription in our feed. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Hello.